come hell or high water, we're going to win on every single issue involving Disney. I can tell you that.
He's focused on the important stuff. Drugs, Muslims,
illegal aliens.
When you're trying to impose a woke ideology on our state, we view that as a significant threat.
fairies, drag queens,
Tramps.
This wokeness will destroy this country if we let it run unabated. So in Florida, we take a very big stand against that.
bestiality, mixed marriages.
Gangbangs.
We're going to make sure we're fighting back when Disney is threatening our kids.
You're goddamn right, meatball.
Florida is where woke goes to die.
That very funny but fake campaign ad there attributed to one Ron DeSantis, produced then by Dan Le Batard and his folks. You know, Dan Le Batard used to be with ESPN, a Miami native resident down there. They're coming after Ron DeSantis for his battle with Disney, as we are seeing unfolding, and there's new wrinkles in this battle. How about we go straight to some of those battles? Disney on Thursday, just yesterday, upped this ante in their battle with Ron DeSantis and will cost his state 2,000 white-collar jobs, something he doesn't want to hear about. This company is scrapping plans to build a $1 billion office complex down there in Florida, and they cited these changing business conditions, according to that memo provided by a Disney spokesperson. Now, the Lake Nona development is what it's called, was envisioned as a regional hub for parks and resorts. And most of those 2,000 jobs included roles in finance, technology, and marketing. They were set to be moved from California. There's too many wrinkles to this story that go right against what Ron DeSantis wants to push as he preps for his presidential run, which has been stumbling before it ever got out of the blocks. I mean, that's according to some people. We'll still see how that goes. Now, as this is breaking down and DeSantis is potentially sweating over this, there's some conservatives that are talking about it still, and they're trying to find their way. Which side of this Disney debate do I find myself on? I'm trying to run against him, but then again, I don't want to lose these supporters. But then again, I also want to hate Disney, but then not hate Disney because they might pull something like this. One of these hopefuls, his name is Mike Pence. He's trying to toe that line too. Let's see how he pulled it off.
I just don't believe it's in the interest of the people of any state for a government to essentially go after a business that they disagreed with on a political issue. I disagree with Florida moving against Walt Disney. I disagree with California moving against Walgreens because they're going to obey the law about abortifacients in some 20 states, so they're going to cancel a $120 million project. Look, at the end of the day, the business of America is business, and I'm not terribly surprised to see Disney canceling a $1 billion contract. That's only going to harm people in the Orlando and Florida area. And it's one more reason why, as a limited government conservative, I've said for months now that I think both sides ought to stand down, take the victory for parents' rights in the legislature and move on. Look, Larry, I like Walt Disney, not woke Disney. All right, but Florida.
Can anyone identify where he stands on this subject? He went after Ron DeSantis in the way that he's destroying the state and some of the money coming in from Disney, but at the same time, he likes Walt Disney, not woke Disney. So that's what Ron DeSantis would say, the guy that you disagree with, but then you kind of agree with there. It's outrageous, and it's very Mike Pence. There's more folks dealing with this, but they're more pundits. I want to start with the presidential guy there. Your first thoughts here. First of all, that ad there, Francesca, but also Mike Pence pulling his best Mike Pence.
First of all, Mike Pence, this is real, wrote an entire op-ed about how he doesn't like the Disney movie Mulan and how because women shouldn't serve in the military, which puts him, on par with the Chinese empire in, I don't know, the 16th century or whatever. Like, so cool, bro. Look, Pence is mad that he's not the governor of Florida and that the anti-Disney stuff is not in his corner. He wants to run for president. So now he's just like, resorting to like, look, we're all rich here. We all just want to keep making money, but I am going to put this zinger in, Walt versus woke. And then finally, look, I don't know if Disney canceling this project was because of Ron DeSantis is posturing towards them. It could be directly, but they could also just be saying that, right? The truth is, Disney should pay its writers right now, all right? Writers are on strike. Disney needs to pay its effing writers. So good, they should reroute that money to the people who are making their content for them as we speak.
Why would they do something like that? This is capitalism, Francesca. You're supposed to step on anyone that gets you to the status of billionaire so you can say, I did this on my own. True. That's the way these things work. By the way, there was a line that he said in there that I want to point out. He said, the business of America, this is Mike Pence, the business of America is business. So everyone that lives in America that doesn't run a business, is he saying, I don't give a damn about you. I don't care about your issues. I don't care about the money that you continue to pump into this country and then into my pockets. But also the business of America is business. So we'll support businesses, which we've seen. He's telling the truth there. But everyone else, F them. Which leads me to this point, you guys. Let's go to graphic 3, because this is the problem. It's not just low minimum wage type of jobs that are potentially being lost here. It's money, and it's people that make it, and that's the influential part for these politicians. Already now, around 200 people have moved to Florida, is what the spokesperson said, and an unspecified number of people had already quit. Here's a quote: "We will no longer be asking our employees to relocate. For those who have already moved, we will talk to you individually about your situation, including the possibility of moving you back." And the average salary of those employees that were prepped to move was $120,000. These are 6-figure employees, which have, I guess, a little bit more clout for these politicians that cater to anyone with any money. And with all this happening, we're gonna see some divisions amongst these pundits and these politicians. Look, Sean Hannity had a few people on to talk about it. To be fair, all these folks were the pundits, but they were still divided on how to do it. Let's watch this discussion.
I'm going to quote Kellyanne Conway from earlier in the day. Ron DeSantis needs an economic plan if he's going to run for president. Ron DeSantis needs an energy plan if he's going to run for president, and he ought to be focusing on that. And this doesn't do that.
Wait a minute. You don't think the issue of age inappropriate sexual material or gender identity information or CRT, that has to get out of our schools?
Parents vote, but the schools are a state and local issue. And you know what people care about? Inflation, because people's wages adjusting for inflation have gone down about 4% under Joe Biden. And Ron DeSantis does not have an economic plan as of yet. And today, Disney just pulled a $1 billion investment out of Florida. And these are 6-figure jobs. And he's picked a fight with Disney for,
this is a state issue. I mean, I think it's important that we're indoctrinating our kids and that we're not giving them the education that they need for life.
Bacon McDowell is taking it to Sean Hannity. He's like, but what about the wokeness? What about the fake arguments we have to fool people into voting for Republicans? She said, wait a second, you might need to care about the fact that she brought up the 6-figure jobs. She brought up the $1 billion investments. That's what they care about, Sean, but he's still trying to carry the water.
But Elsa doesn't have a husband. Is it Elsa? She wears her man. Like, come on. First of all, look at that. I just love the idea that Disney is woke. My childhood, my young girlhood being indoctrinated by princess and prince patriarchal norms would like a word with you, Sean Hannity, because I can't get that out of my head, all right? Pretty sure Disney screwed my entire perception of how to relate with people and relationship. You can change him and then you get to be a human. God. Only I had not learned that lesson.
Well, hopefully Floridians will realize this, but by then he's gonna be off running for president. Hopefully, to his mind, at least getting away from all of this madness. But he's got to come up with something. This is what we've been saying for a while. You can't survive on the woke argument. You're gonna have to survive on some kind of policy, because here come debates, here come policy positions that apparently no Republicans have any grasp onto.